Today we will discuss a chapter in class 11th. This is a story written by Padma Hejmadi. The name of the chapter is APPA-MAM. We will try to introduce the chapter. We'll see its characters, summary, and discussions. Now, first of all, about the author. Padma Hejmadi, also known as Padma Pereira, born in Chennai, is an Indian English writer, poet, photographer, and a trained Indian classical dancer in Manipuri style. She graduated from the University of Michigan, USA. Her best known works are Room to Fly, Birthday, Death Day, and Other Stories, 1985 and 1992. Dr. Salam and Other Stories of India, 1978. At Michigan, she won Hopgood Award for fiction. Now, so far as the characters of the story are concerned, there are the major characters in the story are following. Number one, APPA-MAM, who claims to be a sannyasi. Grandmother, a generous and caring woman, probably sister to APPA-MAM. Grandfather, a tough, shrewd, but kind and just old man. Kappu, housemaid cleaning the house and utensils. The narrator and other children in the family. Now, let us come to the summary of the poem. So far as summary of APPA-MAM is concerned, APPA-MAM is a short story written by Padma Hejmadi. The word "mam" has been taken from Tamil, which means uncle. This is a humorous story that deals with a man who claims to be a sannyasi although he enjoys his living. Later he turns out to be a cheat. APPA-MAM is an uncle to the younger members and elders called him Appa, and as elders called him Appa and he was an uncle, the youngers of the family started calling him APPA-MAM. Apart from his epithet, he was labeled with other epithets as shameless rascal, old burnt face. However, he took these epithets as titles or decorations. The narrator met APPA-MAM for the first time when her mother took them to Madras to stay with her grandparents. They found APPA-MAM seated in grandfather's chair, wearing grandfather's dhoti and smoking bidi, his head clean shaved and forehead coated with ashes, busy studying newspaper. Whenever asked about his whereabouts, he always added that he is doing meditation, wherein he had renounced worldly joys in search of spiritual knowledge, but his behavior nullified everything. Later, APPA-MAM announced that he was going on foot to the temple at Tirukazukunaram and he would return by nightfall. Late in the evening, he came back after a day's pilgrimage, being dead tired. To his experience, he added that a few days of soft living had spoiled him. As a result, it was not possible for him to undergo even a single day's starvation, so he didn't eat the food packed in the container but gave it to the other pilgrims and had been without food for 2 days. APPA-MAM was teased every time when the younger uncle pretended to adjust his halo. He would say that it was always a little in the wrong position. He discussed his nightmare that had become the part of the family legend. He returned after 3 years. During night time, the boys were away at college and the writer's grandparents had gone to bed early. Suddenly a dark figure appeared at the gate calling, "Premavati, Premavati." Grandmother woke up and got frightened for a moment, waking up grandfather as well, who asked him where the old burnt face had been. Actually, he had returned and brought back 25 rupees he had taken from grandfather's desk, which made uncles decide that this virtuous act had brought on the nightmare. Later, grandfather woke up at midnight, finding Appa-Mom shouting some nonsense and dancing like a dervish around his bed. Grandfather stopped him and felt astonished to see that he had been sleeping all the time. One day, to the utter surprise of grandfather, Appa-Mama's disciples paid a visit as they wanted a darshan and get blessings, for he had been practicing meditation for years near a North Indian village. Everybody made a critical remark that hardly mattered for Appa-Mam. He gave a damn to everything, finished his breakfast, sat cross-legged under the neem tree, and saw them one by one. Such an act surprised the members of the family who had never thought that Appa-Mom could be give blessings to other, proving himself to be a real sannyasi. Later the story ends with the twist where 2 days later the earrings of the writer's aunt were missing, with a remark that even Appa-Mom was also not seen for days altogether. Appa-Mom's disappearance jolted the writer in her opinion about him. Now, let us see the character sketch of Appa-Mom. The character is portrayed as a lethargic, prodigal, lazy, con man who is filled with confidence. Appa-Mom was an ascetic or sannyasi. He was an easygoing man, quite lazy, funny, and intriguing. Besides this, he was unreliable. He lived with a comfort, doing nothing useful himself or to others. As a result, it was assumed that he was a charlatan. He was fond of stealing things from the house and giving them to others. Newspapers and chairs were the only sources of interest for him. Although he claimed to be a sannyasi, there was nothing spiritual about him. As elders called him Appa and he was an uncle, the youngers of the family started calling him Appa-Mam. Apart from this epithet, he was labelled with other epithets as shameless rascal and old burnt face. However, he took these epithets as titles and decorations. He was as cheerful as ever. He had the art of saying different things to different people. He had a creative mind. He had a different story for each person depending on what he thought of their individual taste and appreciation. Appa-Mom enjoyed smoking. He used to tell unbelievable stories. He would sit in the sun and sleep in the shade. He played cricket with the writer's cousins and helped them with their algebra. He was rather lazy. The writer humorously says that he enjoyed his life more than anyone else. Now, let us come to the discussions. Now, the first question goes: who was Appa-Mam? How was he related to the writer? Appa-Mam was a self-styled sannyasi. He was called Appa-Mam by the elders in the family of the narrator, and Mam, which means uncle in Tamil. He was uncle to the narrator and many other children in the family. Why did the uncles make fun of Appa-Mam? How did he react to the teasing? The claim of Appa-Mam as being a sannyasi were taken lightly by the uncles as they found nothing like a sannyasi in him. Appa-Mam never took the teasing seriously as he took it as a cool and more normal way of the uncles. He never reacted on his teasing by the uncles. Why was the writer confused whether Appa-Mam was a sannyasi or not? Appa-Mam never looked like a sannyasi. He would take away money and ornaments of family members and still claim to have denounced the worldly pleasures. He had also a merry-go attitude, so the writer was confused on his being a sannyasi. What would APPA-MAM do when he had a nightmare? How did the nightmare become a game for the younger generation? Once APPA-MAM returned from his self-styled pilgrimage after 3 years. He had stolen 25 rupees from the grandfather's desk during his last visit. So when he came back with the money to return to the grandfather, he assumed it to be a great virtue which sent him into a nightmare. As a result, he began to dance and yell some gibberish round the grandee's bed like a dervish for some time. The children enjoyed it and began to play this act of APPA-MAM as a game, naming it as the APPA-MAM's Nightmare. Who were APPA-MAM's disciples? A motley collection of people were the disciples of APPA-MAM. They introduced included a mother with her baby, an old farmer, a cripple, a young couple, and a handful of children. They had a faith in APPA-MAM and were eager to seek his blessings and darshan. What was the reaction of the family on learning that APPA-MAM had disciples? The family was wonderstruck to learn that APPA-MAM had disciples. They never believed in his being a sannyasi, so they were critical in his regard as though it nothing more than a big hoax. Why did APPA-MAM tell the family members not to laugh at him in front of his disciples? APPA-MAM told his family members not to laugh at him in front of his disciples as they had faith in him as a sannyasi and had come to seek his blessings and darshan. So he urged his family members to respect the faith of his disciples they had reposed in him. What made the writer decide that APPA-MAM was a real sannyasi? Do you think she subsequently changed her opinion of him? Give reasons for your answer. When APPA-MAM gave his blessings to his disciples at the back of the house under a neem tree, the writer treated her as a true sannyasi and expressed her feelings to her mother, but subsequently might have changed but sannyasi and expressed her feelings to her mother, but subsequently it might have changed her opinion as just after 2 days the earrings of one of her aunt were missing, and interestingly, APPA-MAM too was missing. But in the light of the story, the narrator might have continued to treat APPA-MAM as a real sannyasi because after the things or money he took away were either returned to the family members given up or given to the needy people. Hope the necessary in this lesson regarding it is summary, the character sketch of the main character APPA-MAM, and the questions that follow in your textbook have been easily done and answered. Hope this will be helpful to you. Goodbye.